Hello, friends of Twitch. Yet another Friday evening with Matty Two Shoes. And this time, Steve, you have redeemed first, and therefore you can declare that you are first. What's interesting is Twitch, it hasn't come through in the activity feed. So I don't know if it really counts. Finite. First, last, somewhere in the middle. Second. Although, technically you're first. Technically. But only by chat. Not the real first. One moment, please. We had some minor audio disruptions in the house. Yost, I'm making really good time today. Maddie hasn't started yet, and I've already bought my ice cream. Wow. See, here I was expecting to hear from you. You're on audio only again, Maddie, as I take you to the ice cream shop. And no, I don't have an ice cream problem. You have a problem with people eating ice cream. I do not. I most definitely do not have a problem with people eating ice cream. Yes. So, Steve, I'm always first anyway. Tactics is third-ish. More like fourth, I think, today. Fourth. 1, 2. There's 3 people in front of you, depending on how you handle latency and time zones. Finite says technically is the best kind of ally. The technic ally. How has everyone's week been? This week has been a lot. Let's just put it that way. This week has been very tough. I've been writing a huge amount of documentation because we had a deadline for handing that over to the developers, but fortunately I made the deadline. Steve says I don't handle time zones, that's someone else's job. But whose job is it? Who handles time zones, Steve, in your house? Who's in charge of time zones? I'm in charge of time zones in my house. Also, I feel like we should change both the music and the lights, because this is like a very strange station. Maybe let's go to something completely different. No, I'm kidding. It's still electronic, right? And I think we'll also go with maybe slightly more pink. In my house, nobody. We don't need them in our house. Oh wait, Steve, so you all live within the same time zone. Okay, that's cool. Actually, it would be kind of an awkward thing if there was a house literally on the time zone line. So whenever you go from one part of the house to another, your time zone would change. Wonder how that would work in practice. Also, whether there are people on this planet that have that problem. I don't know anyone who has that problem. Does anyone know someone who lives in a dual time zone house? UK Maddles is now here. Thank you very much for the raid, friend. I was just wondering about something. No. It has been answered. The octopus himself has arrived. Tell us, how was the rest of your stream, my friend? That awkward moment when you're both in a raid.
Yes!
And in the raided chat. Oh, Finite, were you double viewing on Twitch again? Holy moly. Double Maddie. Dino, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's another Maddie 4 shoes is what you're saying, Finite. Thank you, Dino, for gifting a sub. That is very kind of you. Also, if you'd like to drop with all of my digital friends, courtesy of Surly, Thanks for covering my cocktail-covered butt. Did I do that? Oh, speaking of butt. Speaking of butt, Ian has arrived. I've heard a giggle from the other room, meaning that possibly someone has actually been listening to the stream and has therefore heard the arrival of Ian Alex Toot, aka Ian Alex Hart. Steve, I shall not read out how you've spelled Ian's name because I'm concerned I might get banned for reading that. So, yes. Oh, Dino, you've been making cocktails. Yeah, none of my stuff is refreshing. Can I get stuff to refresh? Is that possible? Can you refresh docs in OBS? None of them are refreshing. That's very concerning. Or just the exclamation from the other room. Speaking of a butt, that also could. That's true. That actually could have been. That could have been enough. It's possible. Okay, well, let's close that. Give me 1 second. We have some technical things. I even have an overlay for this. Look at this. Okay, so it seems that you can just right-click stuff to refresh it. So that's amazing. Once again, UK, thank you very much for the raid. I hope you had a very nice... No! What are you doing?
Yes!
Ah.
Yes!
Oh,
Yes!
come on. You don't have to do that. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Chad, what are you doing? What's happening? Why are we doing this? Hype train? Why are we doing this? What's this for? The cocktails have spoken. Oh my gosh. UK, thank you so much. 5 gift subs. That's very generous. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And, well, actually the charity appreciates it as well. Because, you know, 99% of my stuff goes to charity. So, wow, is Stream Elements not working today? I feel like that's not working. Holy moly. Ian, thank you as well for the 100 bits. Say what now? What is happening?
Yes!
What is happening?
Yes!
Oh my gosh. Chad, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? 6 community subs is greater than 5. That is true. Steve, thank you very much for the 6 tier 1 gift subs. The one time I don't check if something is working, and I feel like it's not working. It's very strange. Let's just check that Stream Elements is here. Oh no!
Yes!
Dino.
Yes!
Dr. Dynamite,
Yes!
what have you done?
Yes!
What have you done? Give subs. Why are you all doing this? I don't understand. What is this for? I haven't even started the stream. We're like 12 minutes in and there's a level 5 hype train here. What's happening? I don't deserve this, chat. This is very generous. And I don't deserve it. I haven't done anything. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Are the Brits invading with subs? Oh my gosh. Chat, I don't know what's gotten into you. Hello, Jay Walter. Thank you. Your stuff has been lost in the incredible drop of amazing generosity from all of you, which Dr. Dynamite, Sociable Steve, Fine Knight, all of you, Ian, UK, Mad, I don't understand where this is coming from, but I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I mean, this is really, I don't get where this is coming from. So no pressure, but be entertaining now. Of course, Yost, of course. I shall remain to be entertaining. Oh no, that's DMCA, I can't do that. UK says, Maddie, you are you, and that's worth every dollar, euro, pound. Pound? Are you calling me fat? Are you calling me fat? No, it's worth every pound, of course. Pounds. Who uses pounds? Oh, right, yeah. You still use pounds there. Oh my gosh. Luce, your message was held for settings? Really? Oh wait, let me scroll up. Did you say something, Luce? I'm sorry. What was said here? Oh no, it's Noob now! What is happening? 198%. Oh my gosh. Luce, I don't see your message held in automod. No. I should see it, right? Unfortunately, I don't see it. However, Luce, you are also very welcome in. Noob, thank you. I don't even know what to say. What? Yes. That word is a banned word, Luce. The reason famous is banned is because most of the bots use that word. So I have literally just banned the word famous. Noob, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. It really, like, and Ian, thank you as well for the 100 bits. Thank you everyone for your generosity. The charity also thanks you very, very much. But this is really just, oh my gosh, Meta is here. Meta! I was just going to message you today. I watched your YouTube video that you put up last week. Dino, I haven't forgotten about emote only, but I'm gonna wait for a little bit until this hype train is actually over because I want people to say things. There's only one response to all these subs. 14-hour FCC stream. No. No. No, I shall not be coerced. I shall not be coerced into 14 hours. Yes, Meta, I watched it. I did. Hey, I even got a level 3 hype train emote. How cool is that? Which one did I get? I got hype ears. Ooh, that's cool. I don't think I had that one. That's a new one. I don't think I had that one. Thank you everyone for your support. This is truly mind-blowing. Like I don't expect to log in on a Friday and get absolutely pummeled by gift subs. We had 350 bits and 27 gift subs as part of that hype train. That is truly just... I don't even know how to process this. I hope those of you who got emotes got really cool ones. I can see some really nice ones in chat. Hello, Surly Dev. Oh, had a hair in my mouth. Hello, Surly Dev. Your friends have been very reliable. The community appreciates your good content. Well, thank you, Luce. I appreciate you as well. We of course need to honor the many people who have been gifting subs, and we need to do some appropriate shoutouts for members of the Claw. First member is Steve, Squishy Steve. Steve, thank you very much for the generosity. And oh my gosh. Why?
Yes!
Why? There's literally a 50% chance to get either Screaming Baby or the other one, which is the generic jumping guy. 50% chance to get one or the other. Hi, Indie Monkey. Yes, Dr. Dynamite has gifted you a sub. Welcome in. UK, can you... Why... There's just so many gift subs. Like, everyone in this channel will be subbed. There's literally no one... You're either VIP, founder, or sub. There's no other status here now. We should all subscribe to an awesome streamer. Oh, thank you, Dino. I appreciate that. Hi, what's up, Steve? Am I complaining? No, I'm not complaining. I think it's incredible. And I'm glad that the shoutouts are working. We also need to shout out my good friend, Dr. Dynamite. Did somebody page the doctor? Because the doctor is here delivering the most savage of subscriptions. In this case, almost like a prescription, right? So thank you very much. And let's not forget our good friend, that Noob, who's also here. Noob, thank you as well for the gift subs. Very appreciated. All of these people are part of the wonderful and unique and weird team, The Claw, of which I am very proud to be a part of. As you can see above here in the corner, there's a little logo. That beep sound scared me from Dr. Dynamite. Oh, that's hilarious. Freda the cat, hello. Nice to see you. Nice to see all these people. Dino, I will reject your emote only chat for the moment, and we can do it later. Now is not a good time. I'm adding data to a database right now. This is the only place I should be while I do this. Are you feeling like I can help you in terms of, you know, do you feel that I can help you, like, validate your data input or something like this? I don't know.
Garbage.
Well timed, Dino. Well timed. Yes, there are... So, Finite, Loose are also Claw Peeps. That is very true.
Garbage.
It's not garbage. Well, at least it wasn't going outside. You're right. It wasn't. But now it was because you played it. Yes, so Loose, as you may know, is also part of our crew.
Put my faith in data. Information. Ones and zeros never lie.
I do like how those coincided together. It's kind of a screaming data thing. Loose is, let's say, on the NoSQL database side, right? So it's kind of always interesting when we talk, because I come from like SQL and she comes from NoSQL background. So together we're like just SQL if you take out the O, or OSQL. NoSQL is a lie. It's all yin and yang. This is true. And we do need to also do one more shout out. And the reason I have this one on button is so that I don't misspell your name. And you see, Finite is very special because Finite is the person who has built How, which is part of my app that I'm planning to build. And so, yes, How is the shit, people. If you do not know about Tao, do click that link and go find out about Tao, because Tao is like the shizzle. Luce says, everyone tries to make us battle each other, but it's all just ones and zeros. You're right, Luce. It is all just ones and zeros. And it's just a question of which order they're put in, more or less. Planning to build? I haven't built the app yet. Right now, I'm studying to build the app, is what I would call it. But first 12 hours of FCC. Well, today shall not be a 12-hour stream. For the simple reason that as of 11:30ish, so in about 2 hours and 10 minutes from now, I will be going to bed. Because I'm exhausted. I want to fall on my face. I even have considered to not stream today. But I know that FCC is important. FCC is very important. So I could not stream. That would have been unacceptable. So, you know. Yes, Ian, throw the paper balls. In disgust. In disgust. So Surly, let's see if that works the way you've planned it. We'll do one good drop and then we will get started. How about that, chat? Green, blue, red. Yes, Mary, if you're still here, I watched your YouTube video. It's very sweet. It's very authentic. I liked it. I think it's very good. And I hope that you make some more. I would like to see more of what you did. I think it's good. What are we doing? Green, blue, red. Disco lights. Okay, UK. I think there might be one in there with green, blue, red. No, there's a green, purple. Green, red, and blue. Here we go. Disco party has started. Dino has landed for 92. Now, if that's not pay to win, I don't know what is, chat. That is literally the definition of pay to win. RGB unicorn poop time. Indeed. Yes, so everyone except for Surly's digital friends does seem to be subbed or VIP'd. So that's quite impressive. It's very impressive. Dino, you don't win anything. The only case where someone wins something is if they hit 100 or 0 in the drop game. I've never seen someone hit 0. I think it's possible to hit 100, but I've never seen someone hit 0. It would be amusing if someone hit 0. So, not even my appreciation, Dino? Of course you will get my appreciation. I said I'm very impressed. It's a good number, 9271. It's respectable. It's very respectable. Melchidev has had a few people hit 100. Yeah, Steve, that's true. He has. Surly went and turned off the settings for those 2 other friends that I had a sub last time. Oh, cool. Okay, Dinah, you accept your prize. That's wonderful. I mean, landing is always... It's a good thing. Most people don't land, so landing is a good thing, statistically speaking. So I wanted to... Noob suggested last time that when I look at chat, I'm looking this direction. And Noob suggested that we flip everything around so that when I'm looking at chat, it looks like I'm looking at chat to the left of the screen, right? And I actually tried to do it and I failed miserably. Because I have an ultra wide screen and it's very weird, like changing the zone of where the screen is or something. I don't know, something went wrong, so I reverted everything. But maybe for Monday, when I have time over the weekend, I'm going to be redoing my setup anyway. Because I got a docking station. So maybe over the weekend I'll have time to do that. And Yost, thank you for throwing the paper ball. I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge that. It just goes through automatically, you know. So chat, who knows what we're doing today? Can anybody guess? I'll give you a hint. It has FCC as an acronym. Yes, tactics, FCC. And what does FCC stand for? Let's say it all together. Federal Commission of... No, that's not the one. FreeCodeCamp. FreeCodeCamp is a website that allows you to learn how to code for free. Federal Commerce Commission. Forgiving crystal cockatrices. Wow, that's an interesting one, tactics. Migrating to document databases, aka free cranial constraints. I like that one, Luce. Syntactic Sugar Overdose, let's go. Indeed, thank you for the biddies. Ian, let's go. 4chan checking. Nope, we shall not be doing that, UK. Definitely not. Let's get started. Let's see if someone lands with all of this candy chaos. Ian feeding the savage Halloween candy. This is where I got stuck. I mean stuck. This is where I left off last time. Also, hello Data Dev. Nice to see you. This is where I stopped last time. We were doing like all around ES6 stuff. There was the option of doing the forbidden language. Does anyone know what the forbidden language is? Regex. Regex. Regular expressions. But a certain someone... Sorry. A certain someone was not here. Therefore, I decided to not do regular expressions. I wanted to wait until that someone was here to cover regular expressions. Regex isn't a language. UK, be very careful with your statements here. I have no hesitation whatsoever in silencing you. We shall not start those debates here. I would tell you all... Good timing, Dino. I would tell you all that we're going to be running an ad now, but pretty much everyone here is subbed. So I'm sorry if you're not subbed. If you're one of the very few people that did not get a sub from that massive 30-something wave, there's going to be an ad now for 30 seconds. So we're all subbed. Enjoy your ad revenue. Yes! Run as many ads as possible so I can get those dollar bills, y'all. So, we return to somewhat normal lighting again. I think we'll go into like Bermuda. Real extra grind. Export X-ray. What? What? Is that what regex stands for, Luce? That's a pretty funny definition. All right, so let's get into it. Write concise object literal declarations using object property shorthand. This is very useful. This is very useful because I'm going to be using objects a lot. Also, hello, Steffi. Holy moly. Everybody's here. Oh, I see, Luce. You're a bit bored with data entry. Fair enough. Fair enough. I understand. So, you've been here the whole time, Steffi. Yes, I know, but I didn't say hello. I didn't acknowledge you. Now I'm acknowledging you, formally. I formally acknowledge your presence. Yost, how's your ice cream? Which ice cream did you get, by the way? I love ice cream. I think I need ice cream. Yost, have you been like subliminally messing with my mind? Like introducing like What's that called? Bias? Unconscious bias that I need. No, what's it called? Suggestion. That's right. Psychological suggestion. Oh, Steffi, don't say something like that. It's okay, I'm used to it. Nobody acknowledges as me. What? That's not true. Steffi is possibly one of the greatest internet mods to ever live. And I don't have any mods, so Steffi's not mod here, but pretty much anywhere else on Twitch that you see Steffi, there's a good chance that they're going to be a mod. There. Steffi, thank you for your service. Yost is always here eating ice cream and thinking of jokes. Ian says, I will re-welcome folks in next stream. I need to gain some points back. Yes, Ian, so save up your points so that you can be the welcome committee. I appreciate that. Yost says some kind of M&S Blood Orange Magnum knockoff. Marks and Spencer? M&S? Steffi is the internet boss. Steffi's here. My day is complete. Steffi isn't mod here yet. It's true, noob. It's true. We might need to make someone mod sooner or later. If I keep getting like 20 plus viewers, then chat becomes a bit rambunctious sometimes. Steffi's mod here, just nobody knows it. Actually, Steve, that's a pretty scary thought to think that Steffi might be mod here. Okay. So, consider the following. Create person.
Steffi is the only employee that I won't call the manager for.
Steffi is the only employee that I won't call the manager for. Makes sense. Makes sense. How many subs to make Steffi a mod? Oh gosh, no! You can't buy those things here. Holy moly. Now that is speed. Look how fast it's going. Oh my gosh, it landed. I can't believe it landed. Wow, the bots do pretty well actually. Sorry, digital friends. They do quite reasonably well actually. Look at all these people dropping. Oh, Steffi dropping the pumpkin like a boss. That's a very cool. Cool emote. Very cool emote. You're right, Stream Elements. I am proud to be part of the Claw stream team. So many people here are from the Claw. That's why it's such a great, just a great environment to be. Lou says, I won't make Steffi a mod on my stream so she can just watch instead of work. I don't have the viewers to need more than the 3 mods. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any mods, so I manage just fine. I don't think mods are strictly necessary, but it's look, some people do it as gesture, right? Some people do it as a gesture, some people do it functionally because they don't want to worry about certain stuff while they're streaming, which is fine. Dino says, what do we want? Make Steffi a mod. When do we want it? When Maddie gets X subs. Okay. The no mods club is fine for us wee peeps. Yeah, UK. It's true. And Steve has many mods. They never need to work on my streams, but they're 90% of the viewers. Yeah. All right, so name, age, gender. This is very redundant. See, chat? I'm exhausted, but I shall fight through. I shall fight through. So if we just do shorthand, we can actually just do name, age, gender. We can actually map them to just name. Oh, without the return. You don't even need the return. You just have the function and then name, age, gender. Oh. What's wrong here? Oh, sorry, there's double quotes. We can just take the quotes out. We don't need them. Wait, what? How come that doesn't work? Oh, jeez. Heck indeed, Ian. Dino, do you know what's really good for waking you up? I should have known. I should have known. I should have known.
Garbage.
Yes. So why?
Say I'm sorry.
No, be sincere. Like this. I'm sorry.
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 Good, that's the one.
An alarm clock. Yes, Surly. Exactly. That was perfect indeed, Sociable Steve. I don't... But this should be... I can't change this code, but in theory, it should be like this. Or am I wrong? Hey, so this exercise has a mistake in it. Chat. This exercise has a mistake. Look at this. Only change code below this line, but if I don't add these... Yes. If I don't change these, if I don't add these, this won't work. Yes, Steve, your time warp scan is incoming. Give me 1 second, please. I'm just confirming that I know better than FCC, which we have established. Alright. Steve has redeemed time warp scan. So we need to switch scenes. Steve, do you have any particular requests around the time warp scan? I'm happy to take requests. I cannot change the direction of the time warp scan. Moose ears with your hands. This will be interesting. I will do my best. I have to wait for these little body bots to drop. Come on, let's go. Okay. Let's try. Bleachin, you may be caught in the time warp. Okay, moose ears with my hands. Oh no. Is that what you imagined, Steve? Is that what you imagined, Steve? I don't know. I don't know if that's what you meant by that, but that's yeah. That's that. I shall mark that as completed. And we can get back to... I expected longer antler figures, but I won't judge. Fair play. If you redeem it again, I can try for longer ones. Fair enough. So we discovered our first mistake on FreeCodeCamp. That's awesome. What do I need to do here? No, Dino. Okay. I'm never gonna get to coding. Which is fine. Dino, do you have any bigger antlers? Very well. Very well. Preparing for time warp. Here we go. No, that's not good. We have to try that again. Switch to just chatting. No. Here we go. Okay, I think that's better. What do you think? What do you think, Dino? I think those are bigger antlers. This is this is such a dumb reward. Can't believe it's so amusing. Oh, Steve, what have you linked? Oh no. And there's a clip too. Oh, lumens! Holy moly. Wow. Well, chat, we did it. We did it, chat. Wait, are you in light mode? Oh gosh. I can't believe your Twitch is in light mode, Steve. Shame on you. Shame on you. That's light mode. That is 90 million lumens in your face. That's the only light mode that should be allowed. I look so happy in the second one. It's the only way you get enough light to make your camera happy? Wow. Yeah, see, Steffi, I didn't even know Twitch had light mode. We've all learned something new today. Thanks to Steve. Isn't that wonderful? Oh dear. Only change code below this line. Well, that's easy because there's nothing above this line, is there? Big brain. So, also thanks for the clip, Surly Dev. I'll definitely watch that later. I can kind of imagine what it is, though. So in ES5, we have to use the keyword function. Say hello, function. Yes. With ES6, we can remove the function keyword and colon altogether when defining functions in objects. Hey, that's cool. ES6 is good. New gear. We don't need this set gear thing. Set gear should be a declarative function. Ah, hold on. Set gear, and then we pass new gear as part of the thing, right? Yeah. Oh, Dino. Another time warp scan? Not for now, but at the end of the stream, I want a surprise, as you'll probably be in bed. Oh, so please screenshot. Okay, so it'll be in the VOD, so I can screenshot the VOD. Yeah, we can do that. I can definitely do that. Steve, you got rid of your ring light. I spent so much time in the meetings, it started to make your eyes hurt. Ooh, ouch. I actually have just an LED tube light at the very, very top, so that it casts a little bit of like a aura. Is that the right word? Like a sort of light aura on my desk. Kind of like those over monitor lights you can get, like those soft ones, a little bit like that. And I find that pretty, it's pretty nice. I'll tell you what, Dino, I'll refund your time warp scan, and because you'll be sleeping, I'll do it anyway for you, okay? You can keep your points. Don't worry about it. Alright, so, ludicrous speed. What do I have to do here? Alright. Class syntax. To define a constructor function. Oh my gosh, what's a constructor? Oh, this is a constructor. I didn't know that's what it's called. Okay. The class syntax simply replaces the constructor function creation. So instead of var space shuttle equals function blah blah blah, you just do class space shuttle, open up the braces, and do constructor target planet. Okay. The class keyword declares a new function to which a constructor is added. The constructor is invoked when new is called to create a new object. Upper camel case should be used by convention for ES6 class names, as in space shuttle used above. What's the reason for that? For upper camel case? Does someone know? You do more explicitness! Like a real language. Did you drop drunk, Dino? I dropped normal. The reason for a convention? Because convention. No, the reason for upper camel case specifically. Is there a reason behind that? Because I don't know. I mean, I'm familiar with camel case and upper camel case. I just don't know. Ah, tactics. Identify it as a class rather than a function. Oh, to distinguish the two. Yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense. Otherwise, it could be confusing between the two. Yeah, that's true. Functions use Pascal case by convention, so it's a way to differentiate. Yes, Sociable Steve, thank you. Dino, it's better than dropping drunk. You become more. It's better dropping drunk. You become more floppy, so less chance of damage. Is that a real thing? Can you damage yourself in the drop game? Sounds like a dangerous thing to do. Sounds very dangerous. I'm gonna change my lights to orange because I feel like it. Alright, so constructor method. Use the class keyword and write a constructor to create the vegetable class. The vegetable class allows you to create a vegetable object with a property name that gets passed to the constructor. So it would be class vegetable, right? Or what do we have to call it? Vegetable should be a class with a defined constructor method. Yeah, so class vegetable, constructor, and what's being passed to the constructor? Vegetable, or let's call it veggie. And what does it do? Creates a new object with property name. Ah, sorry, I have to pass name in here. I'm missing something, right? Carrot.name should return carrot. Did I miss something? We all heard the Lemmy story. What's a Lemmy? What's a Lemmy? Dr. Dynamite. Okay, so what vegetable should be a class with a defined constructor. The class keyword should be used. Vegetable should be able to be instantiated. Carrot name should return carrot. So is it just this dot name equals name? Why does that work? I need to understand this. Lemmy, lead singer of Motorhead. Let me tell you a story. So carrot is new. Ah, because new will initialize. Instantiate, it's called, an object. Dropping in 20 seconds. Drop now! Do it now! Everybody drop. It's always so busy now in the drop game. Used to be so lonely and quiet during the drop game. And now it's like, you know? Can't load the plane anymore, Surly. Or do you have to type load the plane to load the plane for next time? I don't know how it works. One day you'll have to explain it, Surly. One day. One day. Ah, yes, Dr. Dino. I don't have that emote anymore, do I? Shame. But I can do this. This is actually really fun. I like doing this. I don't do it very often, but it's quite fun to do. I can just generate tons of someone's emote. I'm gonna build in some randomization so they drop different ways when they follow you dropping. Ooh, that sounds fun, Surly. Do you stream this stuff? Because I feel like you should stream this stuff. It would be really interesting to see. Kappagen, unfortunately, or fortunately, is a reserved command for mod level or streamer level only, Steve. VIPs have their own set of memes. And I have some stuff that's only for me. It's just the way it is. But you know, Steve, if I had Squishy, then I could. Squishy thing. How many subs to make it VIP? What? You want to buy VIP? You can't buy VIP. VIP is given for... That's a shame you don't stream, Surly Dev. I would totally watch that. I know a lot of people would probably watch that. Okay, let's go. To make Kappagen for VIPs. Oh, I see, Steve. I see. Steffi's reformulated your question. How many subs to make the command available for VIPs? Squishy is a free entity. There is no ownership of Squishy. 5? No, I hadn't thought of this. Like, I've never considered putting commands behind paywalls, you know? Have you ever seen my digital friends flying their drones on Code Rush stream overlay? No, I have not seen that, Surly. I have not seen that. That's pretty cool. Can you link us a clip so people can see it? I'd love to see that. Hello, Alexis. I didn't catch you there because you dropped along with all the digital friends. Okay, so. Well, this works, so that's fine. Now I understand. So we continue. I'm an all-star. Hey, you're an all-star. Get my credit card. Hey, yo. Squishy.live if you really want a squishy, although it may be way out of date. Oh yeah, I remember you built that. Totally forgot about that, Steve. I do want a digital pet for my stream, but I have a specific concept for it. And now that I have another project, I mean, now that I have a Twitch project, I'm unlikely to start a different project now. It's just not gonna happen. It's just, it's unlikely. The only reason I'm doing this is that so that people will stop complaining that I don't know how to code. Steffi, another project, hasn't even started the project. I did a whole season already. You can watch all the VODs. What are you talking about? Where's the VOD thing? There. You can go watch the whole season on YouTube. Don't yawn it, travel through the tubes. What? Dino, sometimes we just don't understand each other. Use getters and setters. Getters and setters. 1 episode per season. No, it was like 10 episodes. Gosh, y'all are just so complaining. We're helping you to make your project. Yes, Steffi. Exactly. Yes. Oh, I see. Dr. Dynamite, it caused you to yawn when I yawned. Uh-huh. I understand. Yawning's Yawning is actually contagious. I watched a video a long time ago on YouTube of a guy who goes around the world yawning behind people and filming them, like his friend would film from the front, and they would yawn even though they didn't see him or hear him or feel him in any way. Yawning is contagious. Not as contagious as coronavirus, probably, but yawning is contagious. Getters and setters. Sounds like a board game. The getters and setters of Catan. The getters and setters of ES6. That sounds like fun. That's a Friday night board game for this kind of stream, that's for sure. You can obtain values from an object and set the value within an object. Classically called getters and setters. Yawning can get around the world faster than anything. Yawning to pandemic status. Yawning has been declared a pandemic. I heard some strange fact that it was because your brain thinks it's because you run out of oxygen, so it yawns to make sure you get enough oxygen. Are you saying I'm not getting enough oxygen? That's actually quite likely. I have not been outside for much. Oh no, now I know what I've done. I should expect a meme to appear shortly. There's no... Thank you, Steffi. There's no status that's capable of categorizing yawning. No widespreads. This is such a weird conversation. Normally this is a conversation I would want to have in person with people so that you could yawn at them while, you know, and test the theory. Oh no! No. Not yawning. Oh, I got them all out now. Oh, but you just yawned. Wait, no, Dino, you yawned just before and then I yawned? I have a set of those steps too. Oh, you do, Surly? Yeah, it's so I can get at the back of my desk. Because it's too far when it's in standing mode to adjust stuff behind. And Steffi, you also yawned when I faked it. Interesting. Fake it till you make it. So what do we do then, getter setter? The console would display the strings anonymous and new author. Const novel equals new book anonymous from the class, which is anonymous being passed as the author. This author equals author. Getter get writer, return this author. Setter set writer, updated author. This author equals updated author. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Did you see the clip I posted? Yes, Surly, I saw it. I just didn't watch it yet, but I'll watch it. Watch it. Are you a short ass? I am very short, Dino. I'm 171 centimeters. Steve, are you short? I didn't think you were that short. I thought you were taller than me. Not 1.71 centimeters. Do I look like I'm 1.71 centimeters? If I was 1.71 centimeters, I would look like this, okay? Let's be real, okay? It would look like this. Hold on a second. Okay? 1.71 centimeters would look like this. You see? Just a tiny little speck of Maddie. Right? I mean, on my screen you currently do. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. I'm as tall as you are. Not like this. Steffi, we're the same height? No way. That's cool. That's interesting. Everyone paste your height in chat. Let's go. It's just like... Alright, so getters and setters. Use a class keyword to create a thermostat class. The constructor accepts a Fahrenheit temperature. Well, I already don't like this because it should be Celsius, but okay, they're doing the conversion, so fine. So we're going to create a class called thermostat. Okay. And we're going to have a constructor which does Fahrenheit temperature. And we're going to do a... What do we need to do next? Alright, so we've got Surly, 1.85 centimeters. 1.85 meters. Steve's 198. Wow. Dino 190.5. 0.00000000000005684 according to Google. Aha, you did a little conversion there. 1.68 meters, does that mean I lose? Well, so far, I think that makes you the shortest out of all of my viewers, Tactics. Unless someone here is shorter than Tactics. 1.68 meters. I can look up to you, Matty Tissues. But only in height. Only in height. We still use freedom units in the UK. Yes, Steve. True. Yeah. You have like a mixture. It's like a mixed bag, right? You use like stone for weight and height in inches, and then feet, and then distance in yards, and I don't know, it's just like a whole mixed bag of stuff. Speed in kilometers, I don't know. 6'3". It's so arbitrary. Like, why isn't it 10 inches to a foot? No, it's like we use stone for our weight and grams for our food weight. Oh, that's just the weirdest thing ever. Okay, so this works. In the class, create a getter to obtain the temperature in Celsius. What an interesting song. And you still use miles per hour too. Oh gosh, what is this? That is a hodgepodge. That is a hodgepodge. All right, so let's do a getter. So if we do a getter, which would be get. What should we call it? To obtain the temperature in Celsius, and a setter to set the temperature in Celsius. So set get temperature. But we're gonna call this temperature instead. Wait, we're forgetting something here. Hold on. We're forgetting something. Miles for distance that is true, and we calculate our fuel efficiency in miles per gallon, then pay for fuel by the liter. Wow. Yeah, it's Steffi. No politics here. You know the rules. So constructor temperature would be this. Do I need to write underscore? What's that do? So then we have a get function, which does get temperature, which does return obtain the temperature in Celsius. Get temperature. I need to convert it, don't I? This is wrong. Isn't this wrong? Isn't it to get the temperature in Fahrenheit and the setter to set the temperature in Celsius? Because we receive it in Fahrenheit. It's a bit strange. So we're getting the temperature, and then we are returning this dot temperature, but we want to convert it, which is Celsius, which is equals 5 divided by 9 times temperature divided minus 32. Is that gonna work? I feel like this might work. Oh, Jay Barty, that's very nice that you thanked Dynamite. Thank you for doing that. I always like when my community is appreciative of each other. So set writer. Oh, not writer, sorry. Temperature. And we're passing the updated temperature. But we could just name this something else. Return updated temperature. Okay. Which is a return When you implement this, you will track the temperature inside the class in one scale, either Fahrenheit or Celsius. This is the power of a getter and a setter. You're creating an API for another user who can get the correct result regardless of which one you track. In other words, you are abstracting implementation details from the user. Oh, wait a second. How do we know if it's Fahrenheit or Celsius when they pass it? Huh? Now I'm confused. Thermostat should be a class with a defined constructor method. Okay, it is. Why is that not even validating? Okay, hold on a second. Okay. When instantiated with a Fahrenheit value, thermostat should set the correct temperature. Calling the setter with a Celsius value should set the temperature. So this is where the getter will be, right? Here. We want to get the temperature. And we want to do that by returning this dot temperature. And then we want to do the setter, which is set temperature updated temperature by passing this temperature equals updated temperature. But here's the thing, we need a conversion in here. Where's the conversion supposed to be? That's what I don't understand. That doesn't make sense for me. As a reminder, this is a backseat friendly stream. So if I ask for a little bit of help, then I appreciate if people help out when I'm a little bit stuck, which is currently the case. Where am I supposed to do the temperature conversion itself? Do I have to detect whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius? It's gone strangely quiet in here. I don't really understand where the conversion is supposed to take place. You'll track the temperature inside the class in one scale. Does that mean I need to do both conversions? It's quiet because I'm in the shower. Okay, Surly. Okay. Wait, am I in the shower with you? That's interesting. Well, not now, obviously. I don't know, you could have like your phone next to you and then like on a speaker and we could be in the bathroom together, you know? I'm just saying it's possible, you know? Steffi dropping them off. It was on the table next to the shower. Fair enough. Fair enough. Maddie, 2 showers. Oh dear. Well, I don't know where to do the temperature conversion. I'm glad that you came over to your laptop to type this message, Surly. It's very appreciative. Ah, Yost playing video games. Using the noisy shotgun. Is that Deathloop? I started playing Back 4 Blood. Wow, that is... that is something. I don't know how someone could stream playing that game because it requires so much concentration and coordination. And the speed is incredible. I don't know how someone would possibly stream that game. It's fascinating. You need to have like lightning fast reflexes to stream that game. It's crazy. Well, I don't know where to do this conversion. Because basically you're supposed to get and set in the same temperature. Ah, Far Cry. Almost done with the storyline. Oh, nice. My friend's been playing that. He said it's pretty good. C equals 5 and F equals where F is the value. When you implement this, you will track the temperature inside the class in one scale, either Fahrenheit or Celsius. Can you solo back for blood? Yes, there is solo mode. You get bots with you then. And the bots are like, they're okay. They're no Ghost Recon bots, but they're alright. Okay, where... This doesn't make any sense for me. Either I'm not thinking this through, or something is unclear. How does it know which temperature is being passed? If I have a const, new thermostat 76, 76 gets passed to the constructor. How does it know if this is Celsius or Fahrenheit? We can't. It's literally impossible, right? I don't get it. When instantiated with a Fahrenheit value, thermostat should set the correct temperature. Well, chat, I think it's time to get help. Do they want it passed as an object? The constructor accepts Fahrenheit, then you add a new method to accept Celsius. Yeah, I need to do the conversion somewhere. Hi, Steve. Does someone need help? Yeah, the instructions are unclear. This is what I don't understand. It says that I should create a getter to obtain the temperature in Celsius and a setter to set the temperature in Celsius, which logically means if I'm... that means it's always being passed in Fahrenheit. So this temperature gets the temperature in Celsius. So it's return this dot temperature, which is... Hold on a second. The doctor's door is open for consultation if you need it. Thank you, Dr. Dynamite. So return this temperature. So if I do this temperature equals I don't know, it's going to be 5 divided by 9 times temperature minus 32. There's something here that's just not making sense to me. If I did like a... The problem is, constructor and getter are two things and take in a different type. Yeah, so what's the whole this? What's the whole this then? The this is referencing the object that it's passing through, right? So if I do this dot temperature is that, then return this dot temperature. But why is it then... In the getter, where is temperature coming from? Aha. Would it just be you overwrite it like this? See, this is okay. This doesn't make sense. Look, because now it's saying calling the setter with Celsius should set the temperature, which it doesn't. Is that because the return isn't there? Why are you resetting the value in a getter? Oh, this shouldn't be there. So this should be set temperature, updated temperature. So return this. Hold on a second. Well, the thing is, the instructions say the following. Create a getter to obtain the temperature in Celsius, which means if the temperature was passed in Fahrenheit, we need to do the conversion in the getter. That doesn't make sense otherwise. You need to set the temperature in Celsius in the getter because that's what the instructions say to do, right? Oh, nice track. So basically, but what about the other part? What about the Fahrenheit equals that? Calling the setter with a Celsius value should set the temperature. Why is that not working? So if I do thermostat temperature is 26, temp const thermos. It doesn't make sense to me. Something is not clicking. It's not clicking for me. I understand what the functions are doing. I just don't understand their instructions here. I really don't understand what they're trying to get me to do. When you pass a value, you can't possibly know whether it's Celsius or Fahrenheit. There's no way to know that. When you implement this, you will track the temperature inside the class in one scale, Fahrenheit or Celsius. I'm getting help with this one. Why is it so bright? Create the class thermostat. The constructor gets it in Fahrenheit, the setter gets it in Celsius. Two functions. Give the constructor a parameter, which you can name anything you want. Set the parameter to an attribute of the same name. Remember, you're initially setting things in Fahrenheit. Okay. Create a get method that converts the Fahrenheit attribute to Celsius. I've done that. So the instructions imply the setter and getter are in C and the constructor are in F. Yes, Steve. Surly says on the constructor change the word temperature to Fahrenheit or temp in F. Basically, what you're saying, right? Yo says it's a dumb design to do it that way because your code will not be named in a way where you know that one takes F and one takes C. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is a really weird... It's a weird exercise. Create a get method that converts. Okay, so we did that. Fine. Create a set method of the same name as the get method. It should have a parameter that accepts Celsius temperature. Convert it to Fahrenheit and set it to the attribute. Oh. Aha. Oh, I see. Your this temperature is now holding a Fahrenheit. You might want to make that more explicit. Okay, so this is now holding a Fahrenheit. And now create a set method should have a parameter that accepts Celsius. Convert it to Fahrenheit and set it to the attribute. And the Fahrenheit conversion, updated temperature. So return equals. So that's in Fahrenheit. That's still in Fahrenheit. Equals Celsius, which is the updated temperature, times 9.0 divided by 5 plus 32. Updated temperature should be temp in C to match your constructor. Yeah. You're right. That makes more sense. That makes more sense, Surly. But this is a very... Like, I don't have a lot of experience in working with getters and setters, but this seems like a very odd way to do it. Even on an abstract level. Thank you everyone for your help. We will be running an ad now. Wow, that's a lot of white space. So for any of you who are not subscribed, which is probably nobody at this point, there will be an ad running for you for 30 seconds. Create a module script. What? Okay. ES6 introduced a way to easily share code among JavaScript files. This involves exporting parts of a file for use in one or more other files, and importing the parts you need where you need them. Surly, I need to leave to go to the airport. I will see you all in a week and a half, probably. Hey, well, Surly, I hope you have a good flight, if you're taking a flight. Stay safe, and let's do another drop for Surly Dev. Everybody together, including the digital friends. Oh, I see you're not flying, you're picking up your girlfriend. Well, that's fantastic. Best regards from all of us at Twitch. That's nice that she's visiting. Oh, that's why you said see you all in a week and a half, because you're not going to be on Twitch for a week and a half. I don't know. I mean, there's times when she's going to the bathroom when you could sneak a quick stream lurk, you know. Twitch detox for most of that time. Yeah, I understand. Of course, I understand that. So modules. Well, you enjoy your time with your girlfriend, Surly. That sounds lovely. Send all of our regards. Send all of our regards. JavaScript started with a small role to play. Certainly not a small role anymore. Only takes a minute to drop a 10 sub dono. It's true, Yost. You just drop in, donate, leave. It's very true. It's very true. So I've never actually worked with modules before. This will be interesting. I'm familiar with HTML documents and stuff, so it should be fairly straightforward. A script that uses this module type can now use the import-export features you will learn about. Ah, I see. Add a script to the HTML document of type module. Okay. Script. Wow, I cannot type. Normally there's auto completion, so script type equals module source equals yourmom.js. Your script tag should have a source of index.js. Whoops, we're not allowed to name that. Okay. Modules are more important than classes. That makes sense. Keep on trucking. Use export to share a code block. Right, so, okay. Yeah, so this I know. Imagine a file called math functions. This I know more or less. So there are two string related functions in the editor. Export both of them using the method of your choice. Okay. Your mother.js is correct. Your mom.js was too big to fit in memory. Oh! That, Steve, was a burn. Ouch. Ouchies. Import allows you to choose which parts of a file or module to load. The examples exported add from the math functions. So if we do I quite like this playlist today. It's called Happy EDM. Uplifting EDM to keep you smiling.
Disappointed!
Why are you disappointed, Dino? Add the appropriate import statement that will allow the current file to use the uppercase string and lowercase string functions you exported in the previous lesson. These functions are in a file called stringfunctions.js. Import your mom from armyboots.js. I tried to import your mom.js, but my antivirus went mad. Alright, so import. Hold on a second. Import uppercase. What a weird spelling. I would have. Uppercase is one word? Uppercase string from string functions.js, which is in the same directory. So dot blah blah blah. And what we can do is we can do curly bracket, uppercase string, lowercase string. Nice. Okay. This all makes a lot of sense because I've done this before. Only change code above this line. The code in this file requires the contents of the file string functions that is in the same directory as the current file. Import star as syntax to import everything from the file into an object. Yes, so I've done this as well, and it's the less explicit method. So you say import as string functions from string functions JS. Okay, that makes sense. Do you know what the parentheses do? So the parentheses as part of the import are creating multiple instances of import. I mean, it's basically looping through them, right? Because it goes like import X from there, and then it does it again, import Y from destination, right? Is that right? I mean, it allows you to specify more than one instead of writing separate import statements. Right? I think that's right. I see. Not quite. Oh dear. Please do correct me, Steve, in what the parentheses actually do in that scenario. Can I go back? So if I do if I do import parentheses from string functions.js. So if I do uppercase string, lowercase string. So how is it executing this code exactly then? Isn't it going import X from blah blah blah? If you do export default, then you can use import X from Y. If you do named exports, then you need to do import X from Y. If you want all the named exports, then you can do import star as X from Y. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Oh, we have to do this again now. Import star as string functions from, I guess repetition is good. String functions.js. Okay. Thank you for the explanation, Steve. So create an export fallback with export default. So if I do export default function subtract blah blah blah, this will have a default value. You cannot use export default with var, let, or const. The following function should be the fallback value for the module. So export default function subtract xy. So that's now the default. So this is very important. It actually says here. There's another export syntax you need to know known as export default. Usually you will use this syntax if only one value is being exported from a file. It's also used to create a fallback value for a file or module. Okay. So import a default export. So if I do import, there's no key brackets, there's no curly braces. Import the default export from math functions found in the same directory. Give the import the name import subtract from math functions.js. There we go. 87% complete. Ah, promises. I think it's good time to take a break, chat, before we do run into promises. I promise to come back. I promise to come back. But I need to do a quick break and get some water. And I'll be back in a few minutes, and in the meantime, you shall be entertained by no one else than the Fiona, famous bunny Fiona. So I'll be back in a short little while. Exactly, Mary. I promise to come back. I do. See you in a minute or two. I can see that Fiona is doing a lot of cleaning. Cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. She's always very occupied with making herself look pretty. That's because she's also getting in her winter coat. Which means she's, you know, she's like shedding one layer of fur and getting a new one in. So that's why she's very preoccupied with her cleaning at the moment. More so than usual. I promised I'd be back, and I'm back. How was your break, chat? Did you enjoy yourselves? I hope you did. Now it's time to promise. Actually, the explanation is pretty good. You use it to make a promise to do something. He's back. That's right, Mede. He's back. When the task completes, you either fulfill your promise or you fail the promise. Yes. And because it's a constructor, you need to use the new keyword to create one. It takes a function as its argument with two parameters, resolve and reject. Create a new promise. Const make server request equals new promise with resolve reject and now what? Done. That's it. Okay. So we have a make server request with new promise, resolve, reject. So let response from server pending, fulfilled, and rejected. The promise you created in the last challenge is forever stuck in pending because you did not add a way to complete the promise. Luckily, I've done this with someone's very distinct help, and therefore I should be able to actually do this without a lot of help from anyone right now. Let response from server blah blah blah. If response from server, okay, we need to change this condition. Make sure the promise handles success handles, they're missing an S in here. Where's the bunny? Yes, Fiona on bunny cam. We can do that, of course. Of course we can. Oh, she's in the toilet again. The gist of this sounds familiar. Yes, Yost, doesn't it sound familiar? I promise to not ask you about this again. So, make the promise handle success and failure. If response from server is true, call the resolve method to successfully complete the promise. Hello, Alan. Welcome in. Nice to see you again. Resolve method. Okay. Resolve. And the string will be, we got the data. This is the case where repeating something is definitely good. Happy Friday indeed, Alan. Happy Friday indeed. That's the wrong one. It's this one. So if we don't resolve, we reject, and we reject with the message data not received. Voila. Nice. 94%. How was your week, Alan? My week was very busy and very, very hectic, but rewarding. Let's put it that way. But I'm exhausted. I'm truly tired. I don't know if you see it in my face, but I'm so tired. Really. Oh. I just want to relax and play some games and take it easy this weekend. Like I don't have the energy to do anything really major. I will be redoing my entire desk setup because I bought a dock to help a little bit with managing my peripherals. It's gotten a bit out of hand. But yeah, other than that, no way. Okay, so now what? Promises are most beautiful when you have a process that takes an unknown amount of time in your code, aka asynchronous. And when you make a server request, it takes some amount of time, and after it completes, this was the whole ice cream thing. You bought a duck? No, a dock. Docking station. The box is over there, actually. It's gonna help me a lot. Will help me manage a bit of the performance of my laptop. So I use it's a bit of a tangent, but I stream on a MacBook. I stream on a MacBook Pro, Intel, 2019, and well, basically the computer is running fans all the time. I have two external monitors. Even without, no OBS, right? No OBS, nothing other than just Chrome open. The fans are running. And the reason that's doing that is because Mac switches to the onboard graphics, which generates more heat. And what I want to do is use the docking station to connect to the screens so that Mac's graphics card isn't as taxed. And that will hopefully reduce the heat a little bit, which will reduce the fan noise a little bit. And this is because it's kind of annoying. I don't hear it a lot of the time, but if I take my headphones out or, you know, I go to lunch or whatever, I can just hear it permanently in the background. So I also think for the longevity of the laptop, it's probably not such a great thing. And seeing as the laptop is relatively new, I bought it last year in May for quite a lot of money. It was almost $4,000 for the laptop. I'd like to keep it for as long as possible. So yeah. Anyway, tangent over. Then, yes, okay. After it's resolved, then the then happens. This is cool. Add the then method to your promise. Use result as the parameter of its callback function. And log result the console. So if blah blah blah, totally get you on the fan noise. I run 12-foot cables so my PC is in another room. Oh wow, that's like Linus has done. That's like Linus did from Linus Tech Tips. He's also got his PC in the behind the wall where there's better cooling in the other room and stuff like that. Crazy. Okay, that's yeah. The then method is executed immediately after your promise is fulfilled with resolve. So if we do something resolve, it will exit and go to where do we add this now? Do we add it after the const? So if we do make server request, then what's the result? Result comes from the argument given to the resolve method. So response from server? No, is that a default message? Mary says, wow, that's cool. Imagine getting a big apartment and one giant bedroom is just for the PC while you sit and do stuff in another room. Yeah, I mean, I could put the laptop in another room, but it's kind of like if I need to do something on the keyboard. I mean, I suppose I have Bluetooth keyboard. I hadn't really considered that, to be honest. I mean, I have another room. In theory, it's the bunny room where Fiona is. But I mean, I wouldn't know how to get the cables through. That's the main issue. So what, Alan, what cable have you run from the PC in order to get all the stuff that you need connected? Because obviously there's like USB and I don't know what else, all the peripherals you have connected. How does that work? Because you're doubling the cable length, right? Because the peripherals got to go all the way to the PC and then potentially, well, I don't know if it's double the length, but display port, HDMI, but then also things like mice and keyboard. Do you just do wireless then? Is it enough? Like, is the signal distance enough and stuff? I don't know. It seems complicated, but probably worth it. And then log result to the console. Console log result. Oh, first try! Pow! I should have done that better. Pow! There we go. That's what we have those for, don't we? Okay, so if there's an error, catch is the method used when your promise has been rejected. It's executed immediately after a promise's reject method. So if it's reject, it's here. So it would be make server request dot catch error, and we want to log the error as well. Console log error. Hey. So one USB extension that connects to a hub that keyboard and mouse connect to, individual HDMIs to monitor. That's actually not so bad, Alan. You're right. It's not so bad at all. My setup is far more complicated than that. Because at the moment, the way everything is routed is just, it's really ridiculous, because you see the laptop doesn't have anything else than USB-C, Thunderbolt. So basically everything, there's a Thunderbolt cable going to this big ultra-wide monitor, then there's a Thunderbolt going to the second monitor, which converts to DisplayPort, by the way. Then there's basically audio plugged in, so my headphones are plugged in directly to the Mac. Then there's a Stream Deck plugged into the Mac as well. Then there's the power adapter for the moment. And into the ultra-wide are plugged in my main DSLR camera, which you're looking at right now. Also the other camera up there, the security camera. Then also plugged into there is the cable for my iPad, which is running the stream manager when I'm streaming. And I also use it occasionally for, like, I don't know, watching a couple videos or whatever while I'm working. And what else is plugged into there? Something else was plugged into there, I thought. Maybe not. So everything is kind of being routed via the display, which is also part of the reason for why the setup is a bit laggy sometimes. Not on stream necessarily, but while I'm working, there's just the whole responsiveness of the computer is a bit, you know, a bit laggy. So I just completed ES6, chat. We just finished ES6. Check this out. I didn't realize, but we just completed ES6, which was 31 exercises. GG's, indeed. Actually, the promise thing at the end, luckily, thanks to Joost, I learned a lot from... Joost wrote me a massive gist on GitHub, explaining things in extensive detail, and that really helped me understand. So this was more of a review now. I think what really confuses me is the object stuff, getter setters, which I probably won't be using much, so that's okay in the project, but I think what's next is definitely regex. Is that something you can link? I mean, that's up to Joost if he wants to link that. Joost can paste the link in my chat if you want. Honestly, it's a really, really good explanation. So I feel like it would be great if you could share it with everyone, because I think it was a really, really good explanation. And it helped me understand better what was going on. So next time, I will definitely do regex, because I feel like someone will probably be here in order to see that happen. But for now, chat, that's the end for today. Oh, sorry, I muted that. It was highly specific to his particular problem at the time. Yes, it was. It was, but as an explanation, as an explanation is really good. Also, this track is great. I have to see if I can find it on SoundCloud. See if we can find it. Cannoli Instinct. I really like this song. Yep. Nice. It's funky. I like it. So I think we'll give it one last drop. Today's thank you will probably be much longer than usual. Definitely. Because, I mean, Jesus, there was so much support today. I really did not expect that at all. I really did not expect that whatsoever. That was pretty crazy. So I think what I'd like to do is, let me check if I can raid the person that I want to raid. Ooh, let me check. Is this muted? Yes, okay. This is the end of the stream. Normally I play the normal track at the end of the stream, but for now I'm just gonna play the music on because I really like this music, this track. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, which, let's be honest, most of them are from gift subs. I mean, 90% of them are from gift subs. Yes, we can raid the person that I wanted to raid. Perfect. I'm getting an ad, so I'll have to finish watching the ad. So all those new subs who have now been gifted subs, people like Manny Moki and Bleachin and Sad Salami Rose and all those people, thank you so much. Lubswin, thank you very much for the follow. And thank you Ian and Finite for additionally also the donations through bits. It's highly appreciative. Yeah, we're definitely gonna raid. we're gonna raid someone pretty interesting. We're gonna raid someone pretty interesting. I know it's a little bit early, but as I said, I am really exhausted, and so I don't want to really draw it out anymore. So that's it for me today. I thank everyone for your wonderful support and enthusiasm. That's been amazing. It's been so much fun also learning FCC. We're gonna raid Curacy, and I hope that you enjoy what she's doing, because it's quite special what she's doing, I have to say. You'll see for yourself, but please do show her lots of enthusiasm, as much as you've shown me, and we will see each other on Monday as usual. So thank you and enjoy your weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.